Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today on the Text Us and Salesforce integration. We're super excited to have you and appreciate you taking the time to spend some time with us. So what we're here to learn today is to learn and explore how modern teams are utilizing text directly from their CRM and how it can benefit both from an efficiency standpoint and leading to more closed-won deals. But before we jump into the demos today, what I want to do is take this opportunity to introduce your panelists that you'll be hearing from today. So my name is Chris Noguera. As you can see there, I am one of the account executives here at TextUs. So a lot of what we're going to be going over today, I do on a consistent basis and can speak to it living in Salesforce, but also how it leads to higher response rates and more closed-won deals. The person who's actually going to be walking you through the product demonstrations and showing you how to do these things in Salesforce is Sierra Surrett, who is my co-panelist and product expert, who also is one of our product managers here at TextUs. So with that being said, would like to kind of go into what traditional follow-ups sales is like and why it's slowing sort of you down and why your competitors are beating you in speed to text. So what we see today and the challenges that I kind of went over already is email fatigue is the big one. Our inboxes get flooded every single day. A lot of it ends up in spam. I know that, every 5 or 6 days I check my spam filter, and that's where all my cold outbound emails are going, right? Missed follow-ups leads, it's kind of branch off of email fatigue where you miss those emails because they end up in your spam filter. They're weeks old and you just auto delete all of them. And then a traditional Gmail, right? Things end up in the promotions folder, things end up in the social folder. And if you're anything like me, you just kind of select all and then close, delete all those emails in one file swoop. And also, from an outreach standpoint, we don't want you jumping between tabs either, right? We don't want you having to utilize 3, 4, 5 different platforms for outbound outreach and follow up, which again slows you down. And now every single deal is taking a little longer. So everything here is going to be about efficiency, but also taking advantage of a much higher response outreach strategy that is text, right? Because what we see is buyer behavior is changing, right? 90% of SMS messages are read within 3 minutes of delivery. That goes for you and me. Even if it is a spam text, every single text we get, we at least read to see that it is spam, right? So that there's no real way to block text from getting to our cell phones. So we all read everything that comes in. And through multiple surveys and multiple research, 75% of consumers prefer to receive this promotional content via SMS over email and phone. And that's probably because email, you don't even see it. And again, nobody really wants to pick up the phone anymore and get distracted from whatever task they're doing, but it's still very easy and very simple to read a text message. On the flip side of that, speed is everything, right? The fastest team wins. We want to make sure that you're following up as quickly as possible. A lead comes in, the quickest way to get to that person is probably jumping on the phone or shooting a quick text to make sure that you get the highest response rate you can. What we find traditionally in the industry is you're going to see about a 10x response rate when compared to email and about 6 to 7x response rate when compared to phone. So not only are you getting to them faster, there's a much higher chance of them opening it and responding to you and engaging with you. Now, I want to be very clear. We're not saying throw out email. Email is still a very effective strategy when following up, when doing your sales process. What we're just trying to show you is a better way to add SMS to your outbound strategy, get that multi-channel approach, and just meeting your leads where they are. So, and of course, personalization is everything, right? When you can send a text with their own name in it, when you can kind of refer to the lead form maybe they filled out or the conversation you had and put it into their text message inbox, it's much, much quicker. So what I want to start by saying, the first demo we want to go over is just to show you how quickly you can actually reach out to these leads, reach out to your prospects via SMS on a one-to-one basis directly from inside Salesforce. Because you mentioned one of the delays that we have is that tab hopping, the missed follow-up. So we want to show you how quickly it is from being within Salesforce, that lead comes in. You can shoot them a text right there. You don't have to go to a different platform, go to a different tab. So Sierra, can you quickly show how a rep would send a one-to-one text to a lead directly from inside Salesforce?
All right, here I am sitting on my lead, Kira, and we're going to go ahead and reach out to her for the very first time. So we have the embedded extension here of Text Us, and it's already brought in Kira's information without me ever having to lift a finger. And I'm just going to go ahead and reach out to her really quickly. Hey, Kira, do you have any questions on those resources I sent you? Feel free to shoot me a text here if you want to move forward with your audit. And it includes my signature and it has all the bells and whistles that you would normally get from our UI. Boom, there it's sent.
Excellent, Sierra. And what you'll see as well is just like the normal web app that we have, all the full conversation can be done directly in that embedded messenger. So if Kira replies, you can handle that text right again in Salesforce. You don't have to leave the platform, and the full thread will be there. If you do convert that into a contact, convert that into an opportunity, that embedded messenger follows that contact throughout the Salesforce journey. So it's always right there. So you not only now you have one the sort of competitive battle and being the first to reach out in efficiency and speed, but you can carry on right there. You don't have to go through it to any other platforms. Thank you, Sierra. So I may have jumped the gun. We kind of went over this already, but just the statistics that we spoke about on the last slide, right? We want to be the quickest to reach out to them because 90% of SMS messages are read within minutes, and the vast majority of our consumers and our customers just prefer to be reached out to text. It's the least quote unquote invasive and the least sort of disruptive to their day to day. And I mentioned responding to leads quicker increases your chances of being the first one to get a response. And I know I have won deals with customers that they say, we filled out 5 of these forms and we're going with you because you're the first company that actually responded and reached out to us. So it matters, speed matters, efficiency matters, and that's all what this demo is about and this webinar is about, is showing you how to do that without leaving your Salesforce environment. Now that we've seen the easy way to do a one-to-one text, right? Carry on that one-to-one conversation directly from in Salesforce. What we want to go over now is workflows. Now, this is a step above what we just saw, what Sierra just showed us, and sort of how to create these automations that you may want to get even faster in this follow-up and get even faster in reaching out to the leads, as soon as they come in. Something as simple as, and I know we get this question a lot, which is why we're very excited about this version of our Salesforce integration, is triggering a text when a lead or prospect fills out a demo form. It's the number one question we get when it comes to automations is when they fill out a form on our website, does the platform allow you to text right away? And now the answer is yes. Another one that we get a lot is reminders before meetings. I know I have a no-show problem every now and then with leads. If they fill out a week in advance, they might forget about it. So this allows you to have those triggers to go out before a meeting that says, hey, super excited to see you this afternoon. Reach out to me with any questions you have beforehand so I can make sure I'm prepared. And then on the flip side of that, the follow-up, right? Re-engaging cold leads, people that have you spoken to in the past. Maybe now's a better time. You catch them at the right time. You never know, but you'll never know if you don't reach out to them and re-engage them. And then, of course, the second big one I would say on this list, the second biggest one after text, after a demo form fill, is triggering those life cycle changes, right? Maybe you're bulk moving or moving leads throughout their sales process. And we want to see if we can automate those texts to go out to them as they move through your CRM flow. This allows you to trigger those texts as well. So yeah, without further ado, Sierra, can you show us what it looks like to build out an SMS automated workflow with this new version of our integration, please?
Yeah, you bet. All right. So first things first is you can build whatever you want to desire here, right? The only limitation that you have here is with Salesforce itself. So get creative. Feel free to send any kind of text to get your lead or your contact back into a flow. So what we're looking at here is Flow Builder with inside Salesforce, and we're starting with a record triggered flow here for leads. And so in this case, we are looking at lead records. So I am getting leads who have met this condition. So we're keeping it pretty light for today, but you can dream up whatever you'd like. And in this case, I'm going to enroll any lead that has a meeting scheduled. So that means if they've moved from open or from cold, right? And now I have a demo upcoming with this lead, then this will send them an automatic text message. Now, what I've done from here is I've gone and got the text message record. And the way that this is set up is we create essential templates inside of your Salesforce environment that allows you to send out a pre-written text to your lead. And then in this text message, we're going to be following up, just letting them know, hey, we're really looking forward to your upcoming meeting. Wonderful. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this and see if we can get Kira to go through our flow here. So as you know, we're returning back to Kira. We've already sent out this initial text message, and now we have a meeting upcoming with her scheduled. So we're going to go ahead and change that lead status from open to meeting scheduled, and that will enroll her in this flow. And we'll kick off in about 2 minutes, and she'll receive an automatic text message here.
Awesome, Sierra. Thank you so much for that. As you mentioned, it's not an auto trigger, so we'll take a few minutes. So we'll come back to that in a moment to see that that trigger's been effectively automated and that text has gone out. So we can go back into the slide deck and go to the next slide. And there's a word I've used a lot on this webinar and probably used it a little too many times. You're probably annoyed with it by now, but it's the word efficiency, right? So we always want to, everything we do today and everything we're trying to show you is how we could take more off of your sales team's plates to basically give them more time back to do what they want to be doing, demoing, following up, Salesforce hygiene by automatically syncing a lot of these processes. The bigger one is going to be syncing your Salesforce contacts and leads into Text Us, right? So when a lead is created or a contact is created, we want to kind of delete that busy work as it says right there, so that those contacts and leads can automatically be created. You're not doing double work every single time. Additionally, we want to make sure your reps get real-time info for better targeting, personalization, outreach, as it says right there. We want to make sure everything they need is right at their fingertips so they have the most up-to-date info. So when they do reach out, it's more personalized than just a standard cookie cutter text that they probably get from five or six other competitors. Yours is going to be personalized so they know exactly what it is to reach out with. That a light bulb goes off in the prospect or customer's heads, and they're much more inclined to respond because something caught their eye. So Sierra, if you don't mind, can you show how TextUs automatically pulls in these contacts and leads so that teams always have the most current info to text?
Easily. So in my Texas environment, you'll see here that I have the ongoing conversation with Kira, but I never created Kira as a contact. Your Salesforce system automatically registers that Kira has been made a lead or a contact within the system, sends that information over to Texas, and we're auto creating them. So as you can see here, there's this cute little icon that says link to Salesforce. That's your key indicator that you never had to lift a finger to bring this contact in. And now you can also get more information about this contact, right? Kira is a new lead to us, so we don't have a lot. There's just a few on the lead ID here. What their current status is, who the owner is, what their title is, and where they're located in their email. But as you add information, we'll make this more robust for you to access more data on Kira.
Awesome. Thank you, Sierra. And yeah, so that's just ways that we give you more robust tools everywhere you want to do your outreach. So when somebody does open that conversation in the TextUs platform, they can look at that instead of having to go all the way back into Salesforce and kind of pull up that contact record, search them, review all that information. It's right there. So they can be honestly right there while you're having that conversation. All that data is ready for you. Now we're getting to another side of the efficiencies, which is the logging of the activity, which we want to make sure that Salesforce remains your source of truth. So all these conversations you're having in the TextUs platform, we still want them logging at the contact and lead level so that anybody can go into the Salesforce environment, see this conversation is active. Maybe it determines your rules of engagement right between the team. A cold lead came back. We can see that rep A had a conversation when rep B went in to look for it, right? Again, another big thing that we've talked about today, we don't want that back and forth between tabs. We don't want the team toggling between tools. We want full visibility into everything being done on the TextUs platform, all the conversations, all the avenues, whether it is the embedded messenger, whether it is the web app, or utilizing our mobile app, right? Hey, this rep went out to lunch. One of their prospects texted them back. They don't want to have to wait. Again, we talked about speed to text, speed to lead. We don't want them to wait to text that person back. They can text them back right from lunch. That will also be logged into Salesforce as well. So we want to eliminate gaps. We want to eliminate duplicated outreach. We want to eliminate exporting conversations from one platform and then importing them into another. Everything will be logged, whether one-to-one or if you prefer batch message logging as well, you can have that set up as well. So we just want to make sure that everybody, whether it's your manager, your marketing team, or other reps on the team, we want to make sure everything is seen in the platform for full insight and oversight. So Sierra, would you mind showing us how conversations get logged and what it looks like from a rep's or a manager's view?
Absolutely. Let's actually go ahead and look at somebody that we had previous conversations with outside of Kira today. So we're going to go ahead and look at Amy here. Amy, we used to have a conversation with, and you can see that now that they've been opted out. But I have every piece of text that has ever happened between me and Amy listed here on the reps page. So as you can see here, we had a text in and out as far back as 2024. And as you can see, it includes information about the message and when it was completed. So you'll never miss a beat on all your activity being recorded to this record. It doesn't matter if they've opted out or you're having active conversation with them. Everything will be stored here on your record.
Thank you, Sierra.
Of course.
So with that being said, as you can see, we've gone through a few things, right? The one-on-one texting, speed to lead, the automations you can build out, that you can get creative as you want. As Sierra said, build out anything you want, get as robust as you want, build out all the automations you want. And then, of course, the logging of activity, right? We want to make sure everything is seen. Oh, and of course, the syncing of the contacts and the leads. Everything today was about eliminating headaches for your teams while building these efficiencies out so you can be the first one to get to the lead, but also reaching out to them in a way through SMS where you're going to get a much higher response rate, a much higher engagement rate, and we're not going to say anything's 100%, but almost guaranteed that at least they're going to see it and read it because, again, 90% of text messages are read within the first 3 minutes, but almost 100% of messages are read at all, right? So getting started, right, and building this out for your teams. Sierra, if you could go forward, please. Great. So if you're already a TextUs customer, you can head straight to the Salesforce App Exchange listing and install the integration right into your Salesforce environment. It's a quick setup, and if you want help customizing this, reach out to your account executive, reach out to your account manager, and we'll get that set up for you. If you're new to TextUs, and this is kind of a webinar where you're learning about TextUs and our Salesforce integration, you may have seen this at the bottom of all the slides as we've gone through. Go ahead and test it out yourself today. Text Salesforce, take advantage of our keywords automation to that phone number below. You'll get a immediate automated response with a link to book a demo so you can ask more personalized questions if you'd like, or get a more robust, in-depth demo where we can show you a lot more bells and whistles without getting too into the weeds like we didn't want to do today. It will include a link, like I said, to demo, and that'll be an automated response as you text that word to that number. With that being said, this is sort of the end of the content part of our demo today, guys. Thank you so much for bearing with us. Thank you so much for taking the time to spend some time with us. Any questions?